That was my greatest honor, was being able to be his friend.
Welcome back to Animal World, our co-inhabitants, where we have the pleasure of speaking with Mr. Michael Parfit, co-director of the award-winning documentary Saving Luna. Luna is a friendly, playful orca who was mysteriously separated from his family and ended up by himself in Nootka Sound near Vancouver Island, Canada. The local indigenous peoples, also known as the First Nations, believe that Luna represented a respected spirit.
Michael's going to tell us a story about a young First Nations man named Jamie and how he was Luna's best friend.
When he came up to Jamie, Jamie would lean over and look him in the eye and sometimes would put his hand in the water very gently. And then they got to have such a relationship that Luna would bring him pieces of bark from cedar trees.
He does quite a bit of things, you know. The thing about the cedar bark too is, you know, if I grabbed it and I start pulling out, he'll start pulling it out. If I, you know, break a piece off, then he'll just open his mouth and like, give it back, you know. It's like, okay, here you go.
And he would do this over and over again, and finally Jamie would maybe grab it, and Luna would whistle at Jamie. Suzanne was out filming Jamie for 4 days while this was happening, and it was just extraordinary to see this relationship that was established. And I think what it showed was how you know, a consistent relationship with Luna like that was really effective and really meant something to Luna, and it meant a huge amount to Jamie. I asked Jamie once, how are you going to tell your son about this experience? Because his son was a baby at the time, and so he didn't know Luna. And he said, well, I'm just going to tell him about the greatest experience of my life. And, you know, that was exactly right. It certainly feels like that to us, and I never had the same level of relationship with Luna that Jamie did. I did have a relationship, but Jamie's was really profound. And Jamie has some of the last lines in the film, which I'm not going to tell you because they're too beautiful for me to try to repeat. But they take you a long way.
Mr. Parfit feels viewers of Saving Luna will come away with their own meaning of the documentary.
People sometimes ask us what message our film has.
Yeah.
And I tell people it's not a message film, it's a story film. A story is something that repeats the way we live life. And in our lives there are lots of questions and then there are not a whole lot of answers. But we seek those answers all the time. And it's easier to find the answers that matter to us as individuals in stories than it is to hear what somebody else tells us to think. Because when we learn things from stories, it's our own learning. And I think that's what Saving Luna is all about, is telling the story of this experience and letting people decide what the message is for them. One of the First Nations guys who's in the film, he's a carver. He said, Luna's here to teach us a lesson. And we asked him, we said, well, if he's here to teach us a lesson, what do you think that lesson is? And he sort of looked at me like, well, you know, it's not a lesson that is going to be the same for each person. It's going to be different for each person.
In the end, Luna's story is one about love.
I think what I'm hearing here today is a love story that shows that human beings and animals can make a very strong connection. And that love story will go a long way towards helping humankind understand that we can do a lot more to save the animals. We're losing 270 species a day because of global warming. And wouldn't it be wonderful if we could bridge that gap with other species and turn every relationship with another animal into the same love story that you had with Luna. Imagine.
It would be really something. One of the things that's interesting, though, too, is that I think that Luna really showed us his awareness and his experience of life. And what Luna taught me to do is to empathize with animals whom I don't meet. It really has changed the way I look at every animal. Mm. And for me, I don't think I can say of any animal now, life is not as meaningful to you as it is to me. I can't say that of any animal. Mm. And that, that changes how you go about living. Mm. So it's these occasional relationships that we have with animals that emphasize that kind of extraordinary magnificence of life itself. Mm. That obviously we have a lot farther to go in terms of respecting it.
Our sincere gratitude goes to Michael Parfit, Suzanne Chisholm, and everyone else involved in making the heartwarming film Saving Luna, so that viewers around the world can witness the intelligence and loving nature of our animal friends. Joyful viewers, we have enjoyed your blessed company today on Animal World, Our Co-Inhabitants. Coming up next is enlightening entertainment after noteworthy news here on Supreme Master Television. May we treat all beings on the planet with love, care, and understanding.
For more details, please visit www.suprememastertv.com/AW